And there's layers there too. I remember training with you. It's kind of funny. There's
So
like there's well, you didn't know who I was. I mean, you still like
you have a
I
really good straight ankle out, by the way.
yeah, that so I don't remember what rank I was,
Like
but
purple.
it might have been purple or something like that. And I did some like I you had this look on your face, which I've often seen in black belts. It's like here he goes again. Like here's him trying this thing. And then when I kind of annoyed you a little bit with it, now I get that it was a good like I did something somewhat effective, like some like maybe a little bit off balance.
Yeah.
I just peeled off a little layer of Ryan Hall to where I was like, okay, let me like there's like layers to underneath deep down
Ogres are
there's a
like
Mike
onions.
Tyson somewhere in there. Like so it was like, okay, this like new guy rolls in here, he thinks he can do this stupid thing. And then you started to beat the hell out of me. But the point is there's layers here from the guy who is being interviewed now to like Genghis Khan.
But it's
It's all
funny.
in the same body.
Right, but it's like all of us are like that, right?
Yeah.
In various different directions, and recognizing that's okay. It's just there are consequences to all every choice that we make has a consequence. Sometimes there's like objectively wrong or objectively right, but at least in my mind, that's a pretty small box.
Yeah.
Everything else is just there's a consequence to that. Do you like that consequence? Do you not? And who do I want to become? What do I want to try to hone myself or anyone else into? And also, like, but this is something I've screwed up as a coach plenty of times. You know, like if someone says, if like I come to them like, Lex, I really, really want to take, research very seriously. Like, okay, I believe you. Now, I haven't shown you that, but I believe you. Like, okay. And now me not showing up to research or to study or not being up until 3 a.m. thinking about this is no longer acceptable. There was a time, like 5 seconds before me making that statement, that if I went to bed without reading the book that I needed to read, no worries. But the second that I made that statement, your expectations for me changed, and maybe it's something that I've screwed up a whole bunch of times in my as a teacher, because it's an interesting thing. Obviously, being like running a martial arts school as you're principally an athlete, is sometimes I don't pay enough attention to what people are doing. I just go, oh, okay, you say X, Y, or Z. I'm like, Roger that. I believe you. Cool. I will now put you in category X, and whether rightly or wrongly, like maybe this person didn't understand what they were asking for, or I didn't express this or the other, and it caused cross wires. And then most times you hash it out, you have a discussion, you figure out, get to the bottom of what people are trying to do or what they want. But if I was paying more attention, I think I could have been a lot more effective. Or if I had more experience, and sometimes maybe I'm not sharp enough, or I'm not perceptive enough to be able to see what's going on. And maybe with years more down the line, I'll be able to have a sharper perception. But I think that's another one of those interesting things that sometimes I would caution, or not caution, but just inform a prospective martial arts student, depending upon where you're going. Both you and also your coach or other people in the room, they wear many hats. And sometimes I had the wrong hat on. You were talking to me as Lex the guy. I didn't realize you were talking to me. I thought you were talking to me as Lex the guy. I didn't realize you were talking to me as Lex the martial artist. I'm like, oh crap,
Yeah.
I was talking to the wrong person. So it's almost like if you had I run my gym with my wife. She's a black belt. So she's my wife. She's my peers as a martial artist in jiu-jitsu.
He's
Like,
here by the way in judging, so
exactly. All right. Well, all right. So, but a fellow black belt, and I guess like another
she doesn't
thing.
have a microphone, so you can't hear all the trash she's talking. So.
Exactly. But it can be tough, and that's something we've had to work through a lot. And it's like looking back, and it's like now being where I'm at now, and it's easy for me to say that because she's in the room, and I don't want her to stab me, just continue to slowly poison me over time.
Yeah.
Which frankly I understand. It's the sort of thing that is now way more effective than anything else I could really reasonably expect to have. But there were times when both of us, were justifiably annoyed at the other because of crossed wires. And sometimes, you just have disagreement anyway or misunderstanding anyway. But again, like I coach some of my friends. I've coached my friend who I've known since I was 4 years old. Sometimes I don't go, hey buddy, how you doing? Sometimes it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Put your hand over there. How many times have we talked about this? And then you walk away and you can see him look at you crooked. And you're like, oh crap. Oh yeah. He thought I was talking to him as his friend. Yeah. Well, all right. We need to talk this one out, hash it out, and not, he's wrong. How could he possibly think that way? I'm like, oh no, I totally understand that. But if I was 22, I'm like, doesn't he know I'm a purple belt? Yeah. Some nonsense like that. And it doesn't come from a bad place, but it's just, I guess that comes back to society, to anything. People only have the perspective that they have and the awareness that we have. And so again, going back and going, hey guys, grace. Like it's not fair for me to go, I fight UFC. Why doesn't this guy who came in as an attorney understand how hardcore this needs to be? I'm like, how could he?
Yeah.
And at the same time though, if I'm using the language of someone that is interested in at least performance from a martial arts perspective, I understand how that could be off-putting. Let's say, for instance, someone that's like all of that would be out of bounds in their normal workplace. But if they think of the gym as my office, then whether they agree or disagree with what's going on, they go, okay, I see why that might have happened. Let's talk about this. And we can, again, all push forward in a positive direction that benefits, I guess, everyone's journey throughout the activity.